And welcome back to another edition of Back to the Drawing Board. Thank you for joining me for yet another week. Once again, I'm Mark Saxton. and it's been talked about all week. I went back and forth whether or not I was going to address it, but I'm going to talk about it. There is no place in a civil society for murdering somebody over their political beliefs. And if you've watched me for long enough, you know damn well I don't give a fuck about anybody's politics. I'm not going to think less of you one way or the other. I'm not going to think less of you because we think differently. This country was supposed to be built on the fact that we can all follow the ideas and the beliefs that we want to and that we believe is right, whether or not you agree with it. And to dehumanize and attack the people that believe opposite of you is what leads to the ability to think this is okay. We need to stop dehumanizing each other. We need to stop the division. I believe it was Rob Schneider who said, "Step out, say hi to your neighbor. They're not as bad as your TV tells you." And I truly believe that. We were always told our whole lives that we're not allowed to talk about politics or religion. And I think that's what this led us to is since you don't talk about it, now you're afraid of something that's different. And now you're offended. And after you're offended, you dehumanize. And once you dehumanize, it makes it okay to create chaos and violence. That's not okay. This, like I said, this country was built on being able to speak your mind on whatever you feel, no matter what anybody says. I thought the point of universities was to go and have your ideas challenged, um, and be exposed to new ideas and new beliefs. And I personally, I love hearing everybody's ideas and beliefs, whether I agree with them or not. I find people interesting. And this is what makes the world ugly is when we create violent acts and create a missing father who couldn't raise it now cannot raise his children and children who grow up without knowing who their father is. It's never okay. And like I said, I don't do politics. I don't care for politics. They piss me off because I feel like they divide. So it doesn't matter to me what side of the aisle you're on. It's time that we all shake hands and get to know each other and show a whole lot more love in the world. I like I said, I typically try and stay away from these things because you're gonna get hate no matter which side you proclaim to be or which side you defend or which side you attack. And frankly, all the hate and all the bullshit's not worth it to me. Um, but it's never okay to create that hole in someone's family because you don't like the words that they said. And like I said, I think we need to do a better job as Americans to appreciate the fact that everybody comes from different backgrounds and everybody has different opinions. Like Pat McAfee said, we do these things to draw people away from the real world, let them forget about it for a while. And I'm a firm believer in that. He is one of the people that I like to follow and mimic and in the way of entertaining, no matter how small my brand is. So no matter who sees this, understand that it's never okay to create violence in a situation where someone's speaking their mind. That's what we're supposed to do. One as Americans, but two as human beings. We all need to be better. Once again, go out, talk to your neighbors, shake hands, tell them you love them, because life is precious. If that's anything that we need to be taught from this lesson, is life is super precious, and you need to hang on to it. So rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and I hope that no other violence happens after this. And I don't care what side of the aisle you speak on. I hope that you get to go home safe to your families. That being said, let's move it along. Time for them Friday night bees. All right. Let's go touch into last week in the NFL. I had some predictions. I predicted the Pittsburgh Steelers to win, the Green Bay Packers to win, the Denver Broncos to win, and the Washington Commies to win. Now, I don't believe any of my scores were right, but I got the right teams. Now, I want to touch on something though, because the Jets look good. Justin Fields looks good, and I'm happy for him. I think he got a raw deal in Chicago. I've said this before. He went to Pittsburgh, won the first 5 games, got benched, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers kind of fell off. I'm not blaming Russ, but I am saying he obviously was part of the winning formula. So, Justin Fields, congrats to you on looking good. I know you didn't get the result you were after. Pittsburgh had some great key plays towards the end of that game. Not going to break it down. I'm sure everybody heard about it, watched it, and has heard all they needed about it. Green Bay looking great, shutting down the Lions. I mean, absolutely shutting them down. Our offense needs some work. We need to score more points, in my opinion. So some work to do. Same thing against Washington. Was able to shut them down. I mean, they've only been scored on 31 points in 2 games. So defense is there. Offense needs to catch up. And I mean, it's not the offense looks bad. We just need to move the ball a little bit better. These things will be worked out throughout the season. I'm excited. I expect the Packers to have a deep playoff run, barring injuries. Jaden Reed going down with a broken collarbone doesn't help the cause. So I'm hoping, that we can turn that around, get back some people that are healthy, and then remain healthy throughout the year. So I'm excited. Micah Parsons has made his presence known, and he's been a beast, from jump. So excited to see where that goes for that defense. Denver not looking terrible. I mean, had some struggles with Tennessee. I think those are kinks that they can work out. Um, that AFC West, everybody won but the Chiefs, so it's going to be interesting to see how that progresses. And then Washington not getting the result against Green Bay, moving the ball well against the Giants. I think Jaden Daniels will be fine. I think Jaden Daniels and company will be fine. They'll figure it out. I expect them to make the playoffs, and they can create noise and make havoc at any point. So be prepared for that. But I just wanted to throw out there my predictions. Although the scores were off, I got the right teams. Moving it along to jump right into my Packers. Like I said, I think I expect a deep playoff run. Christian Watson's out till at least half the season or more. So we'll see. Like I said, Jaden Reed going down is going to hurt. But Romeo Dobbs, I've said this before. If you've listened to me frequently, Romeo Dobbs, when he's not hurt, he's the fucking truth. He can make shit happen. I'm excited about that. Tucker Kraft, Musgrave is our tight ends, always looking good. J Love being able to find them as needed. And, obviously Josh Jacobs, a beast running the ball. That defense, though, is the one that's leading the charge for the Packers. And once again, if they stay healthy, I say look out. I say absolutely look out. Um, this week in football on Sunday, a couple games I want to talk about, that I think is going to be interesting. One of the first ones is the Rams and the Titans. I think the Titans being as close as they were to Denver, the Rams are going to have their hands full. I just think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Not that there's anything kind of weighing on it, not that it's going to be the course for any of their seasons, but I think that's going to be fun to watch. The next one, the Bills and the Jets. The Jets showing off a hell of a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bills being able to come back and hold off the Ravens. I think this is going to be a great AFC East matchup. The Jets aren't going to get pumped, by any means, or based on last week's performance, I don't see them just getting pushed around. So that's going to be fun to watch. Next on my list is the Broncos and Colts. Colts, getting it done, being able to move the ball decent. I mean, Broncos being able to hold on. So I think it's just going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be great to see what those defenses bring and how those offenses react. And then finally, well, not finally. I guess I got two more. I guess I got the Eagles and Chiefs. One, like I said last week, the Chiefs kind of proven that everybody's kind of caught up to them. So we'll see how they're going to fare against the Eagles, who are able to get it done against Dallas. Um, you know, proving that they're still able to move that ball. Dallas felt like they should have won that game, and I get that they were very much in it. It was not a blowout, like a lot of people were expecting after the offseason that Dallas has had. Dak looked decent. That ball was moved. CD caught a couple more. We don't know, right? So it'll be interesting to see how the Chiefs react from that Chargers loss, and then react against the Eagles. And finally, the Chargers and Raiders. I just got done with that AFC West. I pretty much touched on every team. I think that's going to be a real interesting division to watch. I think that's going to be as fun as the NFC North and the AFC East. I think those divisions are going to be exciting this year. So it'll be interesting to see what the Chargers and Raiders do. They always put on a show, and we'll see where they go. As far as my predictions, man, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Rams over the Titans. I'm going to stay away from scores this week. I'm going to take the Bills over the Jets. I'm going to take, man, this one's tough, but I think I'm going to take Denver over Indy. And then I'm going to take the Eagles over the Chiefs. And I think I'm going to take the Chargers over the Raiders. I think the way that the Chargers move the ball against the Chiefs is going to fare well against that Vegas defense. Old habits die hard. So those are my predictions for these upcoming games. And folks, strap in. We're in for some fun. We're in for some absolute fun. Let's keep the football talk going. Let's go straight to college. Uh, First and foremost, the LSU Tigers. I'm an LSU fan. They're taking on Florida. I think it's going to be a solid win there. LSU ranked number 3. I think it's going to be a solid win. Florida struggling right out of the gate. I don't know exactly what's going on with that school. They've been down the last few years, but I think LSU's got it. Next one that I want to touch on is, and it's not going to be in order, but Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Texas A&M and Notre Dame is going to be, I think, a fun game. I think Texas A&M is going to shock everybody. I think Notre Dame's coming out struggling. I think it's going to be a dogfight, though. Arkansas and Ole Miss, they're both 2-0. I'm going to take Ole Miss. I think they got it. They got it going on. I think they'll figure it out. Those are going to be some fun games to watch. Nothing else really kind of sticking out to me. Everything else should be a blowout. Tennessee and Georgia, that'll be good. I'm giving it to Georgia. I don't think Tennessee has enough in the tank to hang in there. So I think that's going to be fun. But yeah, that's about it on the college front. I know there's a bunch of other games that I could probably dive into and cover, but those are the ones that I'm going to be watching anyway. I think it's going to be exciting. Your Saturday's jam packed because right after that, the Canelo fight is on. And here's the thing, Canelo always puts on a decent boxing match. Crawford is, he's proven to be a boss. He has not been knocked down in his career. And it's gonna be interesting to see how it unfolds because they're so close in greatness, with Canelo Alvarez being 63-2-2, with 39 knockouts. Crawford being 41-0 with 31 knockouts. Crawford's got the knockout ratio in his favor. Canelo, they're both older. I think Crawford's 37. Canelo's right around there. Crawford has the reach, but Canelo's decent with reach. He knows how to make them come to him. I don't know. I see this going one of two ways because I don't think there's going to be any knockouts. Maybe a knockdown or two at best. I see it going down one of two ways. Now, I'm a Canelo fan, so I'm going to throw that out there right now. I want Canelo to win. However, I don't really necessarily want Crawford to lose. I see this going either Crawford's going to bully Canelo all fight long and win on the cards, or it's going to go to split decision and it's going to be given to Canelo. I hate that. I hate that he might go out that way, but I just don't see. I think they're going to be too busy playing chess and filling each other out that it's going to come down to points. And they both know how to play that game. And I think that they're going to hang on to every point that they can get to go ahead and progress that fight in their favor. So those are the two ways I see it playing out. I'd love to see an aggressive fight and somebody get knocked out, but These two men are too smart for that, in my opinion. Unless somebody gets dog tired and just drops the defense, I don't see it going any other way. Those are the two ways it pans out, period. Let's move it along to some MLB. For whatever reason, that the NL West, and of course I'm going to talk on it. I'm a Padres fan. The NL West up for grabs. Both teams losing tonight, both the Padres and the Dodgers. Dodgers losing to San Fran, Padres losing to Colorado. Both teams they should not be losing to. Padres 2.5 out. I don't understand it. It is crazy to me. That seems to be the only division that doesn't have it figured out. New York is 3 games back on Toronto in the American League East. Some time left, but I think Toronto's got it in the bag, even though I called for New York to win it. Detroit's got it in the bag. Seattle, my apologies, Seattle and Houston. I forgot about the AL West. Um, Seattle and Houston battling out with Texas fighting their way back, and they're only 2 back. So that division can very much be wide open. But the National League East won. Philly's up by 12 games. Milwaukee's up by 5.5. But I don't see Milwaukee really losing that division. So postseason right around the corner. Super stoked for that. Gonna have a lot of fun. Now let's move to our Fuck It Friday bets. Going straight college football for tomorrow. Might make some other bets on the Canelo fight later, but I'm taking Oregon over Northwestern at a minus 5,000 just because I think that's low hanging fruit. Oklahoma over Temple at a minus 2,400. Once again, low hanging fruit. LSU over Florida minus 285, and like I said, I'm taking Texas A&M over Notre Dame at a plus 200. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. $5 gets you $21.52. Small money, but hey, we got to start off somewhere. Once again, I'm Mark Saxton. This is Back to the Drawing Board. Thank you for joining me for yet another week. And remember, go say hi to your neighbors. Tell them you love them. Shake a hand. Have a good weekend. Enjoy some sports. Drink some beers with the boys.